Mr. Spratley. Come forward.
Thank you. I'm James Spratley, the president of Eco Lake Homes, mayor, honored council members, staff, public. First of all, I thank you for everybody taking the time to participate in comments for and against. I just wanted to address a few things so we don't get sidetracked with stuff that's already been addressed. We have a 480-page report, and I will make it available, that's been lost for about 30 years, which was the original reports that some members in the meeting today have mentioned about contamination of the lake. And what I'll ask you to do is read the reports. Director James Tapp has he's getting a digital copy too of those 7 years of reports, deeply looking into what is real at the lake and what isn't.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Answer questions.
Thank you for your deeply technical information in regards to all the studies that you have done. And I appreciate your passion for it and your wanting to do the best for the future of the lake and of your homes that you're looking to build. I guess it begs the question to me, if you need 11 wells and for 11 homes water, and you're going into the same aquifer that the town's well is in, why are they not giving you 11 units to your home? If there's lots of water in that aquifer, why are you not allowed to hook up to the water?
Yeah, it's very simple. They're going to sort it out. This Councillor Shaban, they're going to sort it out sometime soon. They've been working on it for 15 years. They hit a capacity level that they rigidly restricted any more water coming from that particular wellhead. I do want to respond to one thing Councillor Kroon said, which is very important. Originally, I offered the region and the engineering to mandate that when town water eventually came with more volume, and they're actually looking at maybe doing a new well, like a version 2, adding to the new, do they have the volume by putting more screens in? You know, all that's being looked at, but that's been being looked at for years and it's years away. But we offered to do that. We offered to hook up. And York Region said, no, not necessary. If you go into the deeper aquifer, there's no sense in wasting money and then doing all that later because those wells are safe. And that's from York Region. And I offered without being asked.
Okay.
And was going to mandate it in our subdivision plan. But they said not necessary.
Well, York Region doesn't live with Silver Valley Clay or Musselman.
Granted, but I did offer. I want everybody to know I did offer. I offered, and they said not required, especially if you go into the deep aquifer.
So I guess through your deputation or your information that you provided, I would like Mr. Mayor to ask Development Services if they can do one of two things. One, ask why can't we put 11 more houses on the existing well?
It's been asked.
Considering they're going into the same aquifer as that well, as we were just explained. It's the exact same aquifer. So if you're taking 11 out of that aquifer, but you can't put 11 more in that well, I don't know, I can't do the math, so if you could ask. And I guess the other question is, and that would probably be through Development Services and legal in your application, whether the region says that it's not important that they hook up after if public water comes, but that we still can have that request of you to provide to the residents who purchase your new homes that if water comes available, they'll hook up.
Councillor Shaban, well said, and we offered it long ago.
Yeah.
Just because York Region said, no, don't do it, doesn't mean that we will not work with the town.
Councillor Smith.
Thank you. I've heard what Mr. Spratley said, and I agree with near all of it. And I don't want to get into OPA 136, but somehow I think we need to have a commitment that when town water is available, those homes will be hooked into the town water. And I think that's what, I'm not speaking for Councillor Shaban, but I believe that's what you're trying to get at. And I would like to have a commitment from Mr. Spratley that when we do the plan of subdivision, that is one of the conditions in the subdivision agreement. And even whether we need to pass a motion that that has to happen, or whether we leave it with Mr. Spratley and Hannah to Kabir to resolve that between them. Mr. Mayor, I leave it to you.
We can certainly, should council feel that way, we certainly will be going forward, working very closely with James to ensure that through the draft plan of subdivision, this matter is again reevaluated. And I'm hopeful that by that time, and I'm not sure what James's timing of the submission of the application is, the OPA 136 would have been resolved. I really hope so, because a lot of things are tied to that. And then, as Mayor said, we cannot speak to it. So the capacity issue is definitely tied to OPA 136, which I can speak to. But in terms of what the policies will come out or through that amendment or through the OPA 136, we're not privy to that, nor can we discuss those. So I'm happy to take that as serious direction from council and continue to work with Mr. James Spratley to on that particular issue. And when the draft plan application comes in, we will make sure that the matter is clearly looked at. In addition to Councillor Sherbin's request that we speak with the region to further explore this, including whether there's, should this proceed on private wells, if there's an opportunity to have some sort of monitoring or check on those wells as well, should that proceed. But we're happy to take that into as direction. So.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, having heard the comment from Hannah, I'm happy to allow them to work through the process. And I don't think we need to have a motion or anything of that nature. They know our intent, and I'm sure staff will follow through on that.
Councillor Bartley.
James, I just want to certainly commend you, sir, for what you're doing at the lake and cleaning the lake up, and you're doing a fantastic job there, Mr. James. Coltis Road, what are you going to do to Coltis Road? Like you're urbanizing that road, it's my understanding.
Councillor Bartley through the mayor. Yes, we're actually donating 1/3 of an acre of land to Coltis Drive because we have extra land that we're not developing because we're underdeveloping this lot to be deaf to the lake and give some green space.
I would like to just say a couple comments. Mr. Spratley, you're happy to sit down. You're good. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I think, and I just want to touch on a point that Councillor Kroon made about this Musselman's Lake isn't the only lake that we have to worry about in our municipality. There are a number, Preston being one that has its own set of complicated history and issues. But one of the things that I'm certainly doing as a new member of the LSRCA board is taking a very proactive approach at working with staff at the LSRCA on protecting our lakes. Mr. Spratley has clearly articulated that there's a willingness and an offer that was made to York Region about hooking up. And I think the timing of an OPA 36 settlement, fingers crossed, might work in your favor, sir, where you don't need to drill wells. You might be able to bring water in and service these homes with water. Exactly. So members of council, report DS 00723 application for official plan amendment OPA 22.004 and zoning bylaw amendment ZBA 22.008 at 14622 9th line. The resolution is that council enact bylaw 2023-010-OP, being a bylaw to adopt official plan amendment 161 and direct staff to issue a notice of adoption. That council enact bylaw 2023-009-ZO, being a bylaw to amend the town of Witcher Souls comprehensive zoning bylaw 2010-001-ZO by applying a site-specific zone to the subject property and direct staff to issue a notice of passing. And 3, that council confirm that notwithstanding the proposed official plan amendment and zoning bylaw amendment as attached to this report are different from those proposed at the September 28th, 2022 statutory public meeting, the revisions are minor in nature and no further statutory public meeting is required. That is moved by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor Bartley. All in favor? Opposed? It's carried.